What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. All right, guys, back to the moon we go. This time we're going to another Apollo mission. All right, guys, you can see it right down here. If you go down the page, you can see right here it's from Ken Johnston Sr., and this is not on his Flickr page. This is on here, and you can see it at the top. It's archive.org. Now, I like this because archive.org has a lot of stuff like this here. We can find a lot of older stuff, right? All right, but you can see right here it says later Apollo missions 13 to 15. So various mission photos. You can just keep clicking on right or left, and it's like a ton of photos there, right? And you can see up here at the top left, it's NASA photo, of course, and it's S-71-21716. And what you're going to do is you can't just click on just like a simple link and get it, right? So you just go down here and you click on the JPEG right here, and of course you just scroll down to 7121716 right there, and it's only a 1.4 meg photo, right? So you just click on it and you get it, right? No big deal. So anyway, this is what you get right here. Now I want to make something clear to you guys, and they've been doing this for years, and this is pretty funky. You can see right here they actually took a bunch of photos. Now today they actually digitally stitched them, right? Back in the day they would just take photos and just overlay them. That's what they do. And you can see that it's pretty obvious from these photos here. See the way they're kind of overlapping each other right here on the bottom? So they just took the photos and lined up the best that they could. And you can see it just goes all the way to right here. And you see this one here kind of overhangs it too, right here on the bottom, right? So they've got themselves like 4 photos, I believe it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. And you've got, it's funny enough, what's funny is that they got, goes from dark, medium, medium light, and then, lighter and lighter and lighter. So this might have been different times of the day. Although, judging by the shadows, I don't know how that can be because it almost looks the same. You can see them right here. See that? They almost look like the same. Well, I wouldn't say size because obviously it's different rocks, but you can see like almost the same direction, almost the same length of them, depending on the size of the rock, of course. Okay. I want to show you guys something interesting because they've been doing this since these Apollo missions, right? All right, check this out. And this is like, you can see this on Martian photos big time. Okay. This right here, you can see from this point all the way down, you can see the actual top of the astronaut's head, probably a shadow because they got lights behind them. Plus, he's actually might have a flash on his camera and so on and so forth, right? So what I find interesting is that you got from this line right here, that's the actual ground in the surface. Here, I believe, is actually vertical, which means I want you to envision a photo with objects. Maybe, let's say there's like 3 or 4 squares sitting right here, right? Okay. Back in the day, they used to take a clear acetate, and they would just put it right on the top of the real photo. And then if they wanted to, they might have had a computer program or something they could do that has this weird texture like the ground we see here. And what they do is they just put it over this area from here down to here. Okay? Let me just go ahead and... From here to here, they would put this piece or just put this texture over this area, hiding anything that may be in this photo. And I'll show you why I believe that, because the object I'm going to show you is pretty much hidden in this. Although, I'm surprised nobody can see it. Not this photo, not this section of photo, but the next one over. Now, I'm seeing something right here. It looks like some kind of weird ledge, and it's lighter in color, but almost hidden completely. And it looks like there's a low one and a low one. Almost like a step kind of feature, you know what I mean? There's some weird things in this parts of the photo, but they made it really difficult to pull out. Okay. Here's another thing I think you guys will find interesting. And this is pretty weird and cool at the same time. Okay, so let's zoom into this. Because this is clearly not nature, guys. Let's look at this. Look at this. Right here. What is this object right here? Is it something they're blocking out? See the way this thing goes like this here, and it's got this line comes down? Almost looks like symmetrical right from this side back to this side, but then it's kind of, not sure to make of that. To me, it's some kind of manipulation, obfuscation, right? Here's another thing I find interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, like almost looks like a craft or something laying on its side. You can see something right here. It's a very, very faint line. And I'm talking so faint it's barely noticeable. I literally had to go down and look like this on my screen, because if I drop my view down low on the screen, I can see it. It actually gets a little darker on the screen. But you can see these things are lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see just a dull line right there. Almost like there's something laying on its side. And this is off in the distance, guys, because look. I mean, I can bring this down, and look, it's off in the distance a little bit. It's right there. But whatever that is, again, they either go from extremely dark to extremely light to hide whatever may be in these photos. Now, let me show you the second photo right here. Do you guys see anything in here that's kind of weird? It's in the background, but nonetheless, it's there. It's like it's ghosted. Right here, right in this back, It's very faint, but it's very low res. So the more you zoom it, the more it breaks apart, right? But right there, you can see this outline. Goes like this. Right there. Comes around. There's something that goes down like this, dips down. Comes over to here. And you can see what looks like there's almost like an oval dock area. And something right here. It seems to be dock area as well. What we're going to do is we're going to work our magic on it and see if we can bring anything out of this thing, right? Okay, let's jump into Photoshop. And then we can take a look at it there. Okay. So we blew this photo up a whole lot more, as you can see. Okay. Now, let's go into this. And the first thing I try to do is equalize this, which means it'll take the lighter areas, bringing down the brightness. Take down the darker areas and try to bring those up more. So let's do that. And you can see where it tried to equalize it, but not the best of luck. But see that real faintly. Really? And I'm going to bring this out better than this. It's going to be brighter than this. But see this right here? Seriously, guys, what is that? You can see it is doing this. There's something right here, almost like, it reminds me of just like a wall. It's like different pieces. But you can see what looks like something doing this. Whoops. Kind of skipped over it a little bit, my bad. Going like this. Or something along them lines. Something right on top here. And then what looks like almost like a wall or some kind of frame structure or something to that effect. And there's other pieces down in the back here as well. Okay. Get rid of them lines again. Now I'm going to bring this back up. Okay. Here we go. Now, again, this is the original. See how much more grainy that is. But just by putting slight blur into this, this is what we get. Now, it makes it a little bit more solid, so to speak. And I can see that thing pretty decent. Now, keep in mind, it does actually go into this other photo, too, which was really hard to bring out. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay. If you just back out just a little bit, you can see that item sitting right there as plain as day. What the hell is that? And again, I believe this here is an overlay. I believe this here is actually, this is the flat ground here, as you see. But this here is actually vertical. And what I'm saying is there's an object here. You can see something there. Here. And obviously this piece. But what they did was they took like this, like again, this area right here. They put their own texture over the whole thing. This is the reason why you don't see this black sky in between each item. Because they don't want you to see the individuality of these pieces, right? Let's get into this a little bit more. Now, this kind of blew my mind because I was looking at this and I was like, whoa, hold on. Let me just back out just a little bit first. And of course, this one went really black. You can see that. But, and this one here, not much better. But to me, I just looked at this thing and I said, whoa, what the hell is this? Zoom right into that. Bring it up a little bit more. And you can see where I tried to burn out this side. You can see where this piece comes over into this photo. I can see that right there. Going like this. Coming down. It looks like there's another section here. And whatever the hell this thing is, and I believe there's something else right there behind this crosshair on the photo itself. And you can see what looks like a wall of some sort at different heights. Something doing this. And again, I believe this one's solid, or at least it appears to be one structure. Something right there. Actually, I'm not sure what to make of that. But there's also other what looks like walls and stuff like that in the back. Can you guys see that? Right here in the back. There's something else right there. But this, guys, I don't know what to make of that. Just use a little more blur. Back out a little bit. See, it's a little bit more grainy. What we want to do is add a little bit more blur to make this thing more of a solid piece if we can. And then, of course, I think we went into the other photo on this side. And you can see there's something laying here, and I'm not sure what to make of that. You can see it doing this. And it's got this, whatever the hell that is, there's multiple something or other here. I don't know what to make of that. But something's there, but it's so darkened out that you can't do anything with the photo. This, on the other hand, you can. I'm not sure what to make of that, guys. It looks structural. I mean, there's no way around that, right? There's no way that's natural. Not in a million years. And like I said, you can see this, what looks like something right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is pretty cool. It looks like a wall here. And then it has this piece that does this. Guys, see that? Let me go ahead and get the lines back out of there for you guys. Right there. But what looks like a wall, I'm not sure what to make of this over here. It looks like something's there, but it's hard to tell. And you can see these flat areas, and then you've got this piece here. What are we looking at here, guys? To me, ancient structure. It's hard to tell. I think it was pretty interesting. And again, guys, you can see it in this photo. It's right here. Like I said, just add a little blur to it. And you can see the outline of this thing sitting right there. Look at that. I can see it right there. And I noticed it by doing this. Let me just back out, because again, once you zoom in, it's grainy as heck. But I can see that right there. All you got to do is just look for the different lines, or slightly different. You can see it right here. You can see that pretty clear. The difference in the actual rest of this area. You can see that with ease. Yeah. Put a little more blur into it, and then it becomes more apparent. There's something sitting right here. And I believe it's a lot more than that, too. And again, this goes all the way along this wall. Of course, I'm not doing it very straight, so forgive me on that. Right there. But it continues on, because look at this one here. Pretty much the same level as that. See that? But it almost looks like it's doing this. I can see what looks like almost like a step structure or something like that. And here's the other thing. This is what I pulled out of this. See these weird looking lines? These lines are in the photo. Notice how this is doing this. Now, what it looks like is it was their way of just kind of blotching over this thing and to try to cover it up. And they were just doing any kind of, like, just making a blotch and then filling it in or whatever they had to do, right? Because you can see that this white area, again, looks like this wall goes right behind it. And whatever this is right here is literally just making a little bit, it's a little bit more faded white than the rest of this. So that's telling me that they tried to take some of this stuff out of here. Not sure what it is. It's hard to tell. But again, I can see that right there. And again, it looks like this weird looking step structure. I can see something doing this. So I'm not sure what the hell to make of that, but it continues on to the other side, and you can see that. Well, here's the flat part, but because this is all black now, but you can still see that part right there, and it's level. Again, we got that piece there, and it's like it's just gradually going down, all the way down, and then we've got this object here. I think there's more to it than that. There's something right there behind this crosshair. Not sure what that is, but you can see it's just a manipulation. And it may not be anything, guys. It might be just something with the texture of the photo, right? But to me, there you go, guys. Anyway, guys, as usual, man, be the judge. You guys be the judge. Again, these things are in these photos. These guys were not there to look at lunar rocks. And even if they were, maybe they were taking them and they were looking at them and studying them because maybe they were next to these objects. Maybe to see if, let's say one of them was a downed craft. Maybe they're trying to see if these things were radioactive because they were next to this so-called craft. Or whatever it may be, right? Or because it was close to these objects, they want to know, if it affected these rocks in any way, shape, or form. Or if it's just a bunch of steel, like kind of melted together and just laying on the ground, and because it's got dust all over it, it's been encrusted over millions of years or whatever, that they wanted to take them with them. If it's not, like I said, the rocks are nothing more than a PR move, right? That was basically BS for the public. And the rest of it, what was really going on, was to look at these objects that we're seeing in these photos. And some of them things are just fantastic. And must be scary as hell to see these things in person, right? I can't even imagine what that was like. But, like I said, the cool thing about it is, through technology, we can bring out a lot of this, but not all of it, of course. We know that. But what we're seeing here, to me, guys, without a doubt, they're looking at much more than rocks. Because here's the funny part. They're looking at, in some photos, they're looking at the rocks and they're checking them out. Oh, wow, look at that. But then they're taking pictures of things that are a distance away from them. What for? You're supposed to be up there just looking at rocks. Why does any rock, mountain, or any of that sort, why do you care? Soil samples are where they landed. So they were using little scoops for that, and then they were picking up rocks and everything else. But they're taking photos of what's in the distance here, and this photo. What is it that they're looking at? I don't think it's a rock. That's for darn sure. You guys be the judge, of course. Anyway, guys, I got some cool ones coming up you think you're going to like a lot. More Mars, more moons, and I got some crazy things coming up for you guys. I'm trying to get it together, so we're going to see what happens. And if we can make it happen, it'll be awesome. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, comment, throw your thoughts below. What do you think we're seeing here? Do you think that these... some people just believe that's all they were up there for rocks. Some people don't believe they were there at all. But like I said, judging by what we're seeing in this photo, you can see that shadow of the astronaut taking the photo. So he was clearly there on the lunar surface. And this is not a stage, because to me, these guys are not stupid. If it was staged, right, they would make sure there was nothing on that stage to look intelligently made, so therefore not giving it away. I think they were a little bit smarter than that, don't you think? I think what we're seeing there was a structure, and I've done many of these photos where it looks like structures of some sort, or some kind of craft or something in front of these astronauts. So, yeah, again, not looking at rocks. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, always appreciate it, and don't forget to share, again, also appreciate it. So, guys, stay tuned. Got some cool stuff for you coming up, and I'll see you on the flip side.